start with the chef, Skyping in live from New York, right?
Yes.
All right, now, where are you in New York? Were we talking earlier, was it Brooklyn, you said?
I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Manhattan now.
Nice, okay. We were talking about earlier, the chef and I, about how there seems to be this connection with, I think, people in Brooklyn and Providence. They have this thing where they know and can kind of read each other's mind and still speak in the same accent, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's very familiar. It feels like people I grew up with every time I meet someone from Providence.
We like to hear that. So, Chef, you're joining us this weekend and you're coming in on Saturday morning to be a part of the Flames of Hope, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your background, because one of the things that I really want to get into and find fascinating is your path to becoming a chef. It kind of started when you were a police officer, right?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd one, I guess. I was a police officer for 7 years with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Right.
And I worked at the World Trade Center in the rescue and recovery for 9 months. And following that, I came down with PTSD and panic disorder. So I retired from the police department before I was 30. Wow. So I had to, come up with something else. And I found myself sitting at home waiting for my wife to get home from work and cooking and making these elaborate meals and reading all these online blogs, reading every cooking magazine, watching the Food Network, and as a ploy to get me out of the house, she signed me up for 3 basic cooking lessons at vegetarian-friendly school, the Natural Gourmet Institute near our apartment. And once I took the class, that got me. I was like, I can do this. This could be part 2. This can be, the next thing in my life.
So to me, it's just fascinating. And first and foremost, we all owe you a debt of gratitude for your service. And being a part of working on 9/11 at the World Trade Center grounds is no small task, and a lot of people went through emotional times with that. So it's really empowering to hear about your transformation of being a police officer and what you went through from that experience to where you've come today. So congratulations to you on that, because we owe you a thanks and a congratulations. So very much appreciated your service. So getting into that, and it's wonderful that your wife kind of pushed you out to have you do this, is what were some of those classes that you took? Because going and taking the classes and becoming a chef, there must have been some pretty cool things you were experimenting with to want to keep going with this.
Yeah, so the first classes I took were basic knife skills, and then I enrolled in the chef training program. So that was full time, and it was a plant-based focused curriculum, and it was sort of more healthful food than restaurant food, right. And I just really loved it. It was spices that I've never tried before, ingredients I'd never heard of, combinations of things, and I guess I brought my own things. Where I came from, everyone would say first generation American, and our parents were all from different places, so you get a really good variety of food. So I was combining that with healthful ingredients, and it turned out to be a lot of fun, and I got to intern for my favorite chef. So that was pretty incredible.
So who was that chef?
Amanda Cohen from Dirt Candy. It's a super innovative restaurant in New York.
Yes, I've heard
really
of it.
Amazing place.
Yeah. So from there to the path that we're going to lead on to talk about now, what was the next steps of what you did to kind of start your career as this?
I did a bunch of private chef work, and then I did some catering, and then I fell into this magazine gig where I worked for InStyle, HGTV, and Women's Health doing recipe testing and development, which was perfect for me at the time.
So when you say recipe testing and development, kind of give us a background on what that means, because those HGTV, those places that you're mentioning, those are some great organizations to be working on.
Oh yeah, totally. It was fantastic. What it was is, when you see a recipe in the magazine, a lot of times it comes from, say it comes from a restaurant, or it comes from and I would scale it down and take a restaurant recipe and make it sort of something my mom could make, or an average home cook could make.
Okay.
So it's simplifying a little bit but keeping it just as tasty as it would be. So it was it was really fun, because I got to eat my own food. So you cook a lot and you eat your own food. So that was a really great job.
So in doing that, and thank you, because a lot of what you've done is probably what people need to do from these recipe books that come out, is that you doing that tasting and that sampling and rewriting the things is making it so that we're not making for 300 people like they do in a restaurant. You can make it for 6 people or 4 people or 2 people at home. So from there, we're going to get into toss your own salad. So how did you get from doing that to where you are today?
I made it was my wife again a little bit. I made 3 things I wanted to do were take writing classes, start a food blog of my own recipes, and volunteer at a soup kitchen 2 days a week. And I did all 3. I made sure I did it, and I started doing my own recipes. I put it up on a Tumblr page, and it was doing. It wasn't the most popular thing, and I didn't know. I wasn't promoting it at all. And an editor from St. Martin's Press, Michael Flamini, happened upon it. He made one of the recipes. He really liked the voice because it was a comedic voice, and it was kind of edgy, and the recipes were down to earth recipes for vegetarian cooking, which isn't something that you find all the time. And so we met, and I ended up getting a book deal out of it. So yeah, something I was doing for free. I got a book deal.
This path is doing pretty well for you, and it sounds like we owe a deep gratitude to your wife for along this whole path here, right?
Yeah, really. She should get a co-author byline there.
You'll have to talk to them about that, make that happen. Or there's always the next one too, right?
Right.
So tell us about the book. Tell us about it's Toss Your Own Salad, correct?
Yes, Toss Your Own Salad. It's an easy name to remember. It's the vegetarian cookbook I wish existed when I was buying cookbooks. It's I'm not trying to be a lifestyle guru. I'm not trying to give nutritional advice or fix anyone's problems. I'm just making really delicious, easy to make meals, and hopefully you'll laugh a bunch of times while you're doing it. And it's the first chapter is called Vegetables Your Mom Ruined, and it's just basically your mom boiled Brussels sprouts or cauliflower and broccoli, and now you have this lifelong prejudice against it, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to make you love Brussels sprouts.
How are you going to make me do that?
Basically by roasting them, adding lots of spices, dates, apples, grapes, yogurt. There's
combining ingredients with it to help the flavors, empower the flavors a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of just doing the boil, butter, and salt, really just do one extra step, and it can make anything better.
Awesome. That sounds excellent. So this weekend, coming in for Flames of Hope, you're joining us coming into Providence on Saturday, correct?
Yes, correct.
So how did you, a chef from New York with this fantastic background, decide to come down here and be a part of the festival? And more importantly, as we talk about that too, what are you going to be doing while you're here for us?
Okay. It came through the publisher. My publicist ran it by me, and I was like, "Wow, this is great. This is something I'd love to do. It's meaningful work. It's doing something good." And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a demo of a recipe from the book, and then I'm going to be working with culinary students from the Job Corps in Exeter, and they're going to be making, I believe, 3 recipes from the book. They're going to be cooking it, and that'll be sampled, and then I'll be there selling books, talking vegetables, kissing babies, shaking hands, whatever it takes.
Awesome. So people can get your book at the event.
Yes.
All right.
Please give me a book to you.
I'm going to get one for sure. Don't worry. So it sounds like, I believe and we'll confirm with Brian, who's our next guest coming in, is that I think your demo is going to be in the Taste of Hope event that's taking place. And I know that Exeter students are incredibly excited. I've already heard and seen some of the stuff out there about them coming in to be able to join you. So they're going to produce a few things. You're going to produce one thing as a demo in that area, and then guests will have the opportunity to talk to you about the book as well, right? And kind of get the background more than we're getting today even, right?
Yes, and I hope they drink plenty of craft beer and wine before they do that.
Well, if you're in the Taste of Hope tent, there's a very good chance of that happening because they'll have plenty of choices to partake of before they come over to see you. So and it may even help them get to the point where they really go home and make these vegetables. So
excellent. I hope so.
So tell me, before we let you go, is there any other things coming on the horizon for you? I mean, this path is really, like we talked about, it's an empowering path that you've taken. Are you planning any more books? Is there any big things that you're going to be doing in New York to expand upon this?
Yeah, I mean, I keep going to farmers markets and restaurants, and we do book events and bookstores. I have something coming up in Vermont, something coming up in Peekskill. What else do I have? I'm just doing things like that. Hopefully it'll expand, and I definitely want to do another book after this. I really love the whole process of writing this book. It was the most fun thing.
So since you've had this success and kind of re-explaining, like you said, what people really should know about, vegetarian dishes and such, are you a complete vegetarian yourself, or did this path come naturally to you, or was something you chose later on?
It's something I chose later on. I'm not a complete vegetarian. I'm like 99% vegetarian.
Okay.
I was in Massachusetts over the weekend, and I had something called chowder fries because I'd never heard of it. And it was amazing.
Okay.
So that was, that's the 1% that I'm not vegetarian.
Gotcha.
But it's just a way I prefer to eat. I find it to be a compassionate way to eat. And I think it's, maybe a little more of a challenge to cook that way and make it delicious.
Well, it sounds like your mission is to help make it more enjoyable for all of us that should eat a little bit better that way. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, looking forward to getting one of your books when you come down here, and of course watching the demo. So we look forward to Saturday when you get down to Providence, Rhode Island, and really thank you for working with the Gloria Gemma Foundation and coming in, because it is an important event as a foundation, but it's even an important event for the state of Rhode Island as a whole. So Chef, we look forward to seeing you this coming Saturday.
Awesome, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Eddie.